Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jake.
If you've been watching this explosion of AI tools, it just feels like a fire hose of information sometimes, right?
Absolutely. It's overwhelming.
Especially when you're trying to figure out how to use all this tech for something as, well, personal as learning English.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we're trying to focus that fire hose, make it a powerful, targeted stream aimed right at accelerating your English fluency.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack exactly how AI can help you get there, potentially much faster than before. Okay, let's unpack.
Yeah, that really is our mission today, Emma. For anyone trying to sort through all the AI language apps out there, the hype, the promises, all the tech talk.
That's a lot.
It is. So we want to offer a kind of shortcut. This deep dive, it's about synthesizing the best practices, helping you figure out, okay, what tools are actually available?
Right.
How do you pick the ones that, really fit your goals? And maybe most importantly, how do you actually use them smartly?
Yeah.
Integrate them into your routine so they're genuinely effective.
Because we know you want the insights quickly, but you also want them to be thorough. You're looking for those aha moments, aren't you? The things you can immediately use to get faster results in the real world.
Exactly.
So if you feel like your English learning has kind of hit a plateau, or maybe you're just really motivated to, I don't know, shave years off that journey to fluency, then this conversation is definitely for you.
Yeah.
We're going beyond the sort of generic advice today.
Yeah, getting into the specifics.
We're diving into actionable strategies backed by what we're seeing in terms of data and smart application.
Okay, so first things first. We need to define what we're even talking about here. When we say AI tools for language learning today.
Yeah, what does that actually mean?
Well, we're talking about tech that's radically different from, say, those digital flashcard apps from 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're talking about platforms built on large language models, LLMs, the same kind of core tech that powers tools like ChatGPT or Bard that everyone's talking about.
And that's a crucial difference, isn't it? It means these aren't just pre-programmed drills.
Not at all.
They're genuinely, intelligent, adaptive. They can create new responses, understand context.
That's it. They adapt to you, the learner. You don't have to just follow their rigid path.
Okay. So what can these tools do then? What are the core features we're seeing?
Well, number one is probably the advanced chatbots. We're seeing AI that can hold really natural, quite nuanced conversations on almost any topic imaginable.
So not just simple question and answer.
Now, much more complex dialogue, real back and forth.
Okay, what else?
Then there's the speech recognition side. And this is way beyond just, figuring out the words you said.
Right.
It analyzes your prosody, the rhythm, the intonation, and it can even drill down to the phone level, those tiny little sounds that change the meaning of words in English.
Wow. So it can give really specific feedback on pronunciation, like how you're actually making the sound.
Exactly. Pinpoint, real-time feedback. That was basically science fiction just a few years back.
That's incredible.
And alongside that, you get real-time corrections for grammar, for fluency. It can generate personalized practice scenarios just for you on the fly.
And adaptive learning paths. What does that mean in practice?
It means the AI notices how you're doing. So if you're struggling with, say, compound sentences, it'll dial back the difficulty automatically, give you more structured practice on that specific point. But if you're flying through it,
It makes it harder.
Yep, ramps up the complexity, keeps you in that sweet spot, that optimal zone of challenge, so you're always learning efficiently.
Okay, so based on everything we've looked at, it feels like the biggest immediate win for learners comes from features focusing on active output, right? Speaking and writing.
Absolutely. That seems to be the consensus.
Being able to simulate something specific, like, I don't know, a job interview.
Yeah, or discussing a niche hobby.
And getting instant objective feedback, not just on what you said, but how you said it. That feels huge, especially for people who, have that fear of making mistakes in front of real people.
It tackles that performance anxiety head on. And it's interesting. This isn't just for learners. We looked at reports, from places like Education Week.
Oh, yeah.
And AI tools are changing things for teachers, too. They're using AI not just for grading, but to create really customized materials.
Like lesson plans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or setting up complex role plays with virtual students, personalizing activities for a whole classroom where everyone's at a different level. It's quite remarkable.
So AI is becoming this sort of content creation engine for education too, not just a tutor. Okay, so if we boil down the core benefits for the individual learner, what are the absolute basics?
I'd say three things. First, it's always available, practice anytime, anywhere, fits into any schedule.
Right. Convenience.
Second, speed. That instant feedback, the immediate correction. It just shortens that learning loop dramatically.
Okay.
And third, optimization.
Mm-hmm.
Because it adapts the difficulty, you're always working efficiently, not wasting time on stuff that's too easy or too hard.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
There is. This power comes with a need for, let's say, caution. AI is amazing, but it's not magic. It's not perfect.
Understanding the limits is key from the start, then.
Crucial. These systems need you, the user, to guide them intentionally.
So what's the biggest catch we need to be aware of, especially if someone's just using a general tool like ChatGPT?
The main thing, based on sources like LanguageTalk, seems to be the consistency of correction. Those big general chatbots. They often don't correct your grammar consistently unless you tell them to, very explicitly.
Really? So you can have a whole conversation, make mistakes, and it might just let them slide?
It might, unless you give it a really detailed instruction, a prompt like, act as my English tutor. Always correct my grammar, fluency, and word choice. Show me the mistake, the correction, and explain why.
Wow, okay.
If you just chat casually, assuming it'll teach you passively, you'll miss out on that vital feedback.
That's a fantastic point. It puts the responsibility back on the learner. You need to be good at prompting the AI, not just using it.
Precisely. You have to actively tell it to teach you.
Okay, so we know what these tools are, the good and the limitations, especially with generic ones. Now, the big question, how do you pick a good specialized tool, one that avoids these issues and really helps you practice effectively?
Exactly, and that brings us perfectly to our next section. The key criteria for selecting the right AI tool for your specific goals.
Okay, so if you, listening right now, are looking at all these apps, all promising the world, how do you filter? What are the absolute non-negotiables that tell you if a tool is actually going to speed things up or if it's just, a gimmick?
Right. We need some solid filters.
Okay.
I think there are 3 core criteria that should be your first screen. These really determine if a tool can push you towards genuinely faster learning.
Okay, lay them on us. Criterion number 1.
Criterion 1, a laser focus on real conversation practice. Output, output, output.
Speaking and writing again.
Absolutely paramount. The tool must prioritize you actively producing language speaking or writing, not just passively consuming it. If its main features are reading articles, listening to audio, drilling flashcards.
Important, but not the core of AI's advantage.
Exactly. Those are input activities. The unique power of AI here is simulating the messy, unpredictable nature of real-time conversation.
Yeah, the difference between just knowing a word and actually using it in a sentence under pressure, it's huge, isn't it?
Massive. Reciting lists is low stakes. But actually building an argument, responding to someone, navigating a scenario, that's high-stakes output. That's the skill AI should help you practice.
So we're looking for platforms specifically designed for that.
Yes. Think about tools like TalkPal, for instance. They're built around enabling longer, more complex chats, simulating real dialogues that might go on for minutes, not just single sentences.
Aiming for fluency and coherence, not just ticking grammar boxes.
Precisely. If the tool doesn't make you talk or write a lot, seriously consider moving on.
Okay, that's clear. Criterion number 2.
Criterion 2. Adaptive feedback and personalization. The tool needs to be smart enough to understand how you're doing and adjust accordingly.
So not just, yep, that was right, or nope, that was wrong.
Definitely not. It needs to give constructive feedback. Specific feedback. Why was it wrong? That's a better way to say it. This needs to cover grammar, vocab, and, crucially, pronunciation.
And this loops back to what you said about specialized apps versus general chatbots, right?
Exactly. The specialized apps often have algorithms tuned specifically for finding language errors. They're built for teaching, not just general conversation.
Can you give an example, like with pronunciation?
Sure. A basic speech-to-text might just transcribe your words. But a specialized tool, maybe like Elsa AI, it uses dedicated models to analyze your actual sound waves, comparing them to native speakers. So if you're struggling with the English, the sound.
Which is tricky for many learners.
Very tricky. It won't just say wrong. It'll pinpoint the exact phone, tell you how you're making the sound incorrectly, like maybe you're blocking the air instead of letting it flow, and then generate specific drills just for that sound.
Wow, that's incredibly targeted.
It is. And that focus dramatically speeds up improvement on those really persistent problem areas. It stops you from guessing how to fix things or drilling stuff you already know.
So that's the difference between just practicing and optimized practice. Smart acceleration.
Exactly.
Okay, what's the third criteria?
Criterion 3, Motivation and consistency. This one's maybe less about the AI's technical chops and more about, well, human nature.
Ah, the stickiness factor.
Precise. We've all done it, right? Downloaded an app full of good intentions.
Used it twice, then forgot about it.
Exactly. If the tool isn't engaging, if the interface is dull, if the content feels repetitive or uninspiring, you just won't use it consistently. And consistency is everything for language learning.
No matter how smart the AI is, if you don't open the app, it's useless.
Totally useless. The good tools understand this. They often build in elements of gamification. You know, streaks, points, leaderboards, progress charts.
Are those just gimmicks, though?
I don't think so, not entirely. They're designed to tap into our psychology, reward that regular short effort, making that 10-minute daily session feel like a small victory, not a chore.
So it needs to be engaging enough to keep you coming back day after day.
Absolutely. If you dread opening it, it fails this criterion.
And practical things matter here too then. Like, does the interface actually appeal to you?
Yeah, do you prefer something clean and simple or bright and game-like?
Does it work well on your phone for your commute, or do you need a good desktop version for focused writing? Your lifestyle really plays a role.
Definitely. And beyond these big three, don't forget the basic checklist. What's the budget? Are the key features free or behind a paywall?
Good point. Often the best feedback loops are in the premium versions.
And device compatibility, make sure it works smoothly wherever you plan to use it most.
Okay, this feels like a really good spot to pause for a second. For you listening, think about this for yourself. Filter your own situation through these three criteria. If speaking is your big struggle, criterion 1, that real conversation focus, has to be top priority. If pronunciation is holding you back, maybe it's criterion 2, the adaptive feedback.
Or if you just can't seem to stick with anything, criterion 3, motivation, might be the deciding factor for you.
Maybe just take a moment, grab a pen if you can, and jot down. Which of these matters most to you right now? Knowing that is really the first step to choosing wisely.
Okay, so you've maybe reflected, you've picked a potentially great tool based on those criteria, but that's just the start, isn't it?
Right. Owning the tool doesn't automatically mean faster learning.
Not at all. The real acceleration comes from how you integrate it, weaving it strategically into a consistent, smart routine. Without that, even the best AI tool might give you pretty mediocre results.
This is where we get practical, moving from just having the tool to using it effectively, almost like a learning scientist managing their own progress.
Exactly. We've boiled it down to 5 key integration strategies that seem to really maximize learning speed.
Okay, strategy number 1.
Strategy 1, daily microsessions. This is grounded in cognitive science. Things like spaced repetition, chunking information.
So forget the 2-hour cram session on Sunday.
Pretty much, yes. Instead, aim for short, really focused bursts with the tool maybe 10-15 minutes, but do it every day.
Why is that better?
That frequent low-intensity exposure helps embed things in your long-term memory much more effectively. It activates the memory pathways repeatedly without overloading your brain.
Like taking a daily vitamin versus a huge feast once a week. The small, consistent dose works better for building foundations.
That's a great analogy.
Okay, strategy 2.
Strategy 2, focus relentlessly on output. We keep coming back to this, but it's just so critical.
Or emphasize it enough?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
When you're using the AI, your main activity should be active production. Speaking to it, writing with it, debating, describing things, use it as your practice partner.
So less time spent just reading its perfect answers or listening to its generated audio.
Much less time. Those are passive, important, but secondary. The real learning magic happens when the AI is correcting your attempts, your mistakes. That's the feedback loop we need.
Got it. Strategy 3.
Strategy 3, mix the tool with real life. Bridge the gap. The AI is your safe practice zone, your simulator. Real life is where you perform.
How do you bridge that gap effectively?
Deliberately. Let's say you just practiced a specific grammar point, maybe past modals, or learn some new business jargon with the AI.
Okay.
Your next step should be to immediately find a real-world opportunity to use that exact thing. Draft an email using those modals. Send a text message using that jargon. Even just rehearse a little monologue you might give later.
Ah, so you're transferring the learning straight away.
Exactly. It cements the memory and proves to your brain that this new knowledge is actually useful.
Smart. Okay, strategy 4.
Strategy 4, track your progress. Don't just rely on feeling like you're getting better.
Use the data.
Use the data. These AI tools are often packed with analytics. Dashboards showing mastery levels, words learned, fluency scores, common error types.
Do pay attention to those numbers.
Yes. And use them to set measurable goals. Not just get better at English, but maybe increase my reported fluency score by 5 points this month,
Ooh.
or cut my errors with conditional sentences by 50%.
Makes sense. Data keeps you honest and focused.
It really does.
And the final one, strategy 5.
Strategy 5, reflect and adjust. You have to become your own learning coach.
How often should you do this?
Regularly, maybe after every week or two of focused practice. Step back and ask, am I still using this consistently? Is it still challenging me? Is it actually helping with my main weak spot?
And if the answer is no, or the data shows you've plateaued,
You have to be willing to change something. Adjust your focus within the tool, maybe tweak your daily routine, or even decide it's time to switch to a different tool that better suits your current level. Don't stick with something that stopped working for you.
that's crucial. Don't just keep doing the same thing if it's not producing results.
Okay, these strategies make sense theoretically. Here's where it gets really interesting. Can you walk us through a quick example? Show how these might work together in a real practice cycle.
Absolutely. Let's use that TalkPal scenario idea. Imagine our listener, Alex, needs to get better at giving professional feedback in English for their job.
Okay, common scenario. What does Alex do?
Right. So, Alex starts the day. 12-minute micro session, strategy 1. Alex opens TalkPal and starts an AI chat, role-playing a performance review meeting. Strategy 2, output.
Okay, speaking directly to the AI.
Yep. The AI acts as the employee, asks tough questions. Alex responds orally. TalkPal instantly corrects Alex's use of specific professional idioms and maybe some complex sentence structures. It introduces, say, 3 new high-level vocabulary words related to performance management.
Got it. Instant feedback during active practice.
Exactly. Now, later that day, Alex actually needs to write an email giving feedback to a real team member. Strategy 3, mix with real life.
The transfer. Alex consciously decides to use those 3 new vocab words and the corrected sentence structures from the morning's AI session in that real email.
So, practiced speaking it, now applying it in writing.
Perfect loop. Then, maybe at the end of the week, Alex checks the TalkPal dashboard. Strategy 4, track progress. Sees that, hey, their accuracy score for using past conditional tense has actually gone up 10% this week.
Tangible proof of improvement.
Right, and this whole cycle-focused micro-session, output practice, real-life application, tracking data, that's what drives the acceleration.
And strategy 5 comes in if, say, Alex notices the dashboard shows great conversational flow, but pronunciation scrolls are stuck.
Exactly. Then Alex reflects and adjusts. Maybe next week's 12-minute sessions are dedicated only to pronunciation drills within the app, even pausing the role plays for a bit.
Focus practice on the bottleneck. Avoid just wandering aimlessly through the app.
That's the key. Identify that one main weak area, right now, pronunciation, fluency, a specific grammar point, and hammer it with the AI. Don't try to do everything at once. Directionless practice is slow practice.
Okay, we've got the theory, the selection criteria, the integration strategies. But Jake, what about real people? Does this stuff actually work? The stories from users must offer some powerful insights, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the anecdotes really highlight how different tools excel in different ways. It's not one size fits all.
Like what?
Well, we heard from one user who had incredible results with ALSA AI, specifically targeting pronunciation. They were quite hesitant to speak in meetings before.
That fear of being misunderstood.
Exactly. But through really focused, consistent practice on those difficult English sounds using Elsa's phoneme-level feedback, they basically eliminated that anxiety, became much more confident participants.
Just by tackling that one specific area with the right tool.
Precisely. Then you have users who are getting great value from the big general-purpose tools like ChatGPT or Bard.
How are they using those effectively, given the earlier caveats?
By being smart prompters. They're instructing the AI to act as an infinitely patient conversation partner. It could adopt a specific persona, play word games, correct mistakes instantly with explanations, generate custom exercises on the fly.
All within the same chat window.
Right. So for them, it's this incredibly versatile tool. They might not need a separate grammar app and a separate conversation app if they get good at telling the general AI exactly what they need it to do.
That's a really strong argument for learning prompting skills, isn't it? If you can master that, you can potentially get most of the benefits without needing multiple specialized subscriptions.
It definitely makes a case for maximizing the tools you might already have access to. Good prompting can unlock maybe 80% of the value if you know how to give those detailed instructions we talked about.
Okay, I think this is another good point to bring you, the listener, back in. If you're using an AI tool right now, pause and reflect for a sec. Which one is it? And what specific, tangible improvement have you noticed?
Yeah, Was it feeling less nervous speaking? Finally nailing a tricky grammar rule? Maybe understanding native speakers better?
Connecting your own experience makes this all much more real, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, let's talk about those simulations again, because they really show the power of the feedback loop, especially for tackling that performance anxiety.
I remember trying one out, simulating a job interview. It was intense.
Ah, how so?
Well, it was an AI avatar asking industry-specific questions in a formal setting, but the feedback afterward wasn't just about my answers or vocabulary.
What else did it cover?
It analyzed my speaking speed, my tone of voice, pitch variation, and it even flagged how often I used filler words like and like, things that signal hesitation.
Oof, that kind of direct feedback can be a bit confronting.
It was, but incredibly valuable. That objective analysis of delivery things a human tutor might, politely gloss over is something AI can provide instantly.
I had a similar experience practicing some complex technical explanations. Recorded myself, used a tool to analyze pronunciation down to tiny sound differences like the versus hus, and then immediately jumped into a chatbot to practice saying the corrected sentences within that same technical context.
So you identified the error, got the correction, and practiced the fix, all within minutes.
Exactly. And that's the core mechanism here, that ultra-fast loop. Practice, get instant feedback, repeat immediately. That's the engine driving accelerated improvement.
The AI spots the mistake, tells you how to fix it, and you can try again right away before the wrong pattern gets cemented in your brain.
Whereas with traditional methods, that feedback might take days.
Yeah.
Right, waiting for a teacher to grade something or for your next tutoring session.
Yeah.
AI shrinks that cycle time down to seconds, potentially. That's the fundamental accelerator.
Okay, so these tools are clearly powerful. The feedback loop is fast, but they're not magic. They're not a silver bullet.
Definitely not.
Understanding the traps, the ways people use AI badly, is probably just as important as knowing the best strategies, right? If you fall into these pitfalls, you could just end up frustrated again.
Absolutely. Using AI poorly just swaps one inefficient learning method for another. We've identified 5 really common mistakes people make that actually slow them down.
Let's hear them. Mistake number 1.
Pitfall 1.
Oh.
Over-reliance. Thinking the AI will do the work for you.
The passive consumer mindset. I bought the app, now make me fluent.
Exactly. The AI is an amazing training partner, maybe the best ever. But it can't do the mental push-ups for you. It can't do the memorizing, the drilling, the applying it in real life. You have to bring the effort. If you skip the actual brain work, the AI does nothing.
Makes sense. Okay, pitfall number 2.
Pitfall 2, passive use. We keep saying it, but it's so easy to fall into this trap.
This is where you're mostly just reading the AI's nicely written responses or listening to the audio it generates.
Precisely. You're consuming, not producing. If you're not speaking or writing, the AI can't find your specific errors to correct. You're missing out on its single biggest advantage, that personalized production feedback.
Reading helps input, but speaking and writing builds fluency.
Exactly. Pitfall number 3.
Pitfall 3. Lack of consistency.
This just breaks the whole learning engine. Using the tool sporadically, maybe an hour binge every other Sunday.
It just doesn't work as well as short daily sessions.
Nowhere near as well. It breaks that crucial feedback loop and the spaced repetition effect. What you learned last week is likely forgotten by the time you pick it up again. Consistency is king.
Okay. Pitfall number 4.
Pitfall 4. Poor tool choice. This is a recipe for frustration and giving up.
Choosing something that's just wrong for you.
Yeah. Maybe it's way too advanced for your current level, or it focuses on academic English when you do conversational skills. If the tool doesn't match your immediate goals and your current ability, you'll likely find it either boring or discouraging.
So aligning the tool's specialty with your specific need is critical.
Absolutely. And the final one, pitfall number 5.
Pitfall 5. Ignoring the feedback.
This sounds obvious, but it happens. The AI points out a grammar mistake you keep making or suggests a better vocabulary word.
And you just kind of nod and move on.
Right. You don't actively try to use the correction in your very next sentence or your next practice session. If you don't integrate the feedback, you haven't closed the loop. You're essentially practicing the mistake, not fixing it.
That's a great point. The feedback is useless unless you act on it immediately.
And we also have to quickly revisit that point about AI not being perfect.
Right, the imperfection issue.
Even the best models can sometimes give slightly odd suggestions, Maybe language that's technically correct but stylistically weird for the context, or they might have subtle biases from their training data.
Like being too formal in a casual chat, or maybe not catching certain cultural nuances.
Exactly. So you, the learner, still need to maintain a level of critical thinking. Don't just blindly accept everything the AI says. It's a machine, an incredibly powerful one, but still a machine.
Which brings us back to that analogy you used earlier, which I really
It's a
like.
tool belt analogy.
Yeah. AI is a super tool, an amazing addition to the tool belt.
But it's not the whole tool belt.
Exactly.
You still need other tools.
You absolutely do. AI should be used alongside human interaction tutors, conversation partners, real-life and traditional methods like reading widely and listening actively. AI fills that gap for unlimited personalized speaking practice and objective feedback, but it doesn't replace the need for real human connection and understanding context.
Okay, listeners, maybe a moment for some honest self-assessment here. Can you think of a pitfall you fell into when you first tried an AI tool? Were you too passive? Did you pick the wrong one? Did you ignore the feedback?
Acknowledging it is the first step to avoiding it next time.
Okay, Jake, the pace of change here is just wild. These tools are amazing now, but it feels like we're only scratching the surface.
We absolutely are. So, looking ahead, what's next? What does the future of AI for English learning look like? And how can learners stay ahead of this incredibly fast-moving curve? So, what does this all mean?
Well, the big trend seems to be towards even more immersive and seamless integration, getting rid of any remaining sense of artificiality.
How so?
Think highly personalized, adaptive scenarios with incredibly realistic avatars, maybe even integrated into VR environments. Imagine practicing specific situations like negotiating a deal, but the AI simulates a specific counterpart, maybe with a particular regional accent or cultural style.
Wow. So you could practice a sales sketch to a virtual client from London, then immediately switch to practicing small talk for a conference in New York.
Potentially, yes, simulating not just the language, but the whole context. The ability to generate the exact scenario you need on demand with the right vocabulary, the right level of formality, even the emotional stakes. That's a total game changer.
No more generic preset lessons. Infinite, relevant practice tailored to your life and career.
Exactly. And we're also seeing more sophisticated multimedia integration, tools that combine images, videos, real-world texts with the AI to create lessons based on things you're already interested in.
So if I love cooking blogs, the AI could generate my English practice based on recipes and food discussions.
That's the idea, making it hyper-relevant. And underpinning all of this is that drive towards an even faster feedback loop. You speak, the AI listens, analyzes, adapts its response or feedback near instantly, and you practice again immediately. Millisecond cycles.
But this rapid development isn't challenge-free, is it? Especially when trying to make these tools work well globally.
That's a really important point. While the tech is getting better at handling multiple languages, there are still issues around bias.
Bias in the AI, how?
Well, these huge models are trained on massive amounts of text and data, right? And that data often heavily represents certain languages, like English and certain cultural contexts, often Western ones.
So the training data itself isn't perfectly balanced.
Exactly. And reports from places like Axios suggest this can sometimes lead to the AI being slightly less effective, or maybe the tone feeling a bit off when interacting with learners whose native languages or cultural backgrounds are less represented in that training data. It's something developers are actively working on, but it's a challenge.
Okay, so with tech moving this fast and these kinds of challenges still existing,
Yeah.
what's your advice for learners trying to navigate all this? How do you stay effective?
I think it comes down to three core principles for the long haul. First, stay curious.
Keep experimenting.
Yeah. New tools, new features pop up constantly. Set aside a little time now and then just to try things out. See if something new offers a better fit or a breakthrough for where you are now.
Okay, second principle.
Maintain goal orientation. Never lose sight of why you're learning English. Is it for work? For travel? For study?
Don't get distracted by shiny new tech just because it's new.
Exactly. Let your core goal drive your tool choices and your practice strategy. If a cool new app doesn't actually help you achieve your specific aim, then ignore it, no matter how impressive it seems.
Focus is key. And the third principle.
Embrace adaptation. Your needs change as you learn. The perfect app for you as a beginner, A1, A2 level, focusing on basic sounds, will likely be useless when you're an advanced learner, C1, C2, working on nuanced arguments.
So be ready to switch tools as you progress.
Absolutely. Be willing to discard old tools and refine your toolkit as your own journey evolves. Remember, the AI is just the means. The fundamentals, vocabulary, grammar, real interaction are still the core. AI just helps you practice them more efficiently. Tag Outra.
Wow, okay. We have covered a lot of ground today, Jake.
We certainly have.
We defined these powerful AI tools, gave clear criteria for picking the right one for you, laid out those 5 crucial integration strategies for speeding things up.
Highlighted the common pitfalls to watch out for, and even peered into the future of what's coming next with immersive AI learning.
So now, the most important part, turning all this knowledge into action.
Yes. It's time for the challenge. We want to issue a specific, actionable 7-day action plan for you, listening right now, starting today.
Okay, challenge step 1. Based on our discussion, especially those 3 criteria, choose one AI tool this week. It could be a specialized app, or it could be a general one like ChatGPT that you plan to use with very specific prompts.
Challenge step 2. Really commit to using that tool for at least 10 minutes every single day.
Yeah.
For the next 7 days, no excuses. Consistency is non-negotiable.
Challenge step 3. Pick one specific, measurable weak area for this week. Maybe it's using phrasal verbs correctly, maybe it's the pronunciation of the R sound, maybe it's forming questions accurately. Dedicate 100% of your 10-minute daily practice just to that one thing. Focus.
And challenge step 4. After those 7 days are up, you must do a quick progress review. Don't judge yourself, just observe. What does the tools data say improved? What have felt genuinely easier by day 7? And just as importantly, what challenge still feels tricky? That becomes your target for next week.
That focused, measurable action is what truly makes the difference. It takes you way beyond just hoping the technology works. The AI tools will keep changing, that's a given. But your commitment, that consistent daily practice, and deliberately applying what you learn in real life, those are the constants that will guarantee your long-term success.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on this week, something that pulls all these threads together. Think about a specific real-life English interaction you know is coming up soon. Maybe it's an important email you need to write, a networking event, maybe even a presentation.
Okay.
How could you use an AI tool this week to generate a practice scenario that exactly mirrors that upcoming interaction? Practice the specific language, the flow, handle the potential difficult questions, all under pressure in the simulator before the real event even happens.
Now that is truly leveraging the power of AI. Go out there, refine your prompts, stick to your daily practice, and start accelerating your learning journey today.
Good luck.
We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.